It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Turvis is all about staying hydrated with style and durability. You can trust Turvis tumblers to keep your drinks the perfect temperature, hot or cold, for hours. From the classic insulated tumblers to sleek stainless steel water bottles, each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Turvis. Visit turvis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Since our founding, we've been revolutionizing hair removal with cutting-edge technology and a commitment to empowerment. The Ulike Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. Experience the future of hair removal today at ulike.com, because at Ulike, beauty is about looking and feeling good. That's ULIKE.com, Ulike. With EaseUS, make studio-quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects, featuring 468 natural AI voices. Customize the volume, mood, and pauses to perfectly match your content. Plus, capture high-quality videos with no watermark. Record your screen, webcam, and voice, and save them instantly to your computer. Never been easier to create professional-grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at EaseUS.com. That's EaseUS.com. EaseUS.
Just use AMP-Pace.
AMP-Pace.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Here we are, live in the Alico building, high above Central Texas, 21st floor, presented by Slovacics. Of course, can't forget about Crawford Austin Properties. Got a chance to catch up with our boy Gordon Harriman yesterday for a good hour. Yeah, that's our guy. We talked about sobriety and life, and actually I did it. It's on his podcast. You can check it out. It's called Facing the Mirror here on the Rogue Media Network. Gordon's co-host was gone, so I joined him. And there you go. A little better? Okay, a little better. A little better here. A little better. Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, Gordon's co-host was gone, so I joined him, and we talked about the gifts of sobriety and how much fun it can be, and living life like a loose shirt, like I'm wearing this morning, my Big 12 shirt. So yeah, you can get that on the Facing the Mirror podcast feed on the Rogue Media Network. As far as the Big 12 is concerned, just a quick plug, man, go to Big 12 Studios online and check out. They put up a quarterback, like a hype video for the Big 12 season. Did you see it, Scotty? It's good, man. They go through, it's 6.5 minutes. They go through every quarterback in the Big 12. And they talk about statistics. They show highlights. There's like voiceovers. It's really cool. And it's one of those things like I really thought to myself, man, when I was like a high school kid getting ready for the football season, I would have devoured something like that. Like it would have got me so pumped. So cool content out there for folks to consume. Check it out on Big 12 Studios. Scotty Swingler, of course, alongside us today. I texted Scotty last night. He kind of blew me off. Let's see. What time did I text him? I texted him something really nice. What time? At 8:28. What time did I hear back? Like, that's okay. It was 9:45. What are you? Hold on. What are you up to around the? What goes on over there? Are you with Marigold at that time? Your daughter?
Fixed it. I did not have Marigold last night. I was.
Were you playing soccer? You at the bar? Watching a movie?
I was deep in the trenches in college football 26.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best
By the way, so quick update on my online dynasty since you brought it up, Pete. Why didn't I text you back for an hour? Me and my buddies are in an online dynasty. I think we're now through week 10. I am 8-1 with Liberty. We had to pick 2-star or below teams. So nobody's a good team.
Okay.
Everybody's trying to rebuild a program. I am 8-1 with Liberty. We are currently projected to get into the college football playoff in year 1, which would be huge for my recruiting. Well,
that'd be huge for the school.
Would be tremendous.
Yeah.
My only loss was to one of my buddies who's playing with UTSA, and I want to give a shout out today to Sam Mills, who was, I believe, like 3-5 with San Diego State. He was really struggling, but he beat his own brother. He beat Drew Mills. Suck on it, Drew.
Sam Mills.
Sam playing with San Diego State finally got his confidence, found his mojo, and beat Wyoming in a thrilling final minute touchdown drive and going for 2 in regulation. He won 15-14, and I'm going to send him this clip.
So that's a signature win for Sam, I got to imagine.
It is.
And San Diego State.
It is.
Yeah, wow. It's like the Harbaugh brothers.
Get in on college football 26.
Yeah,
baby.
it's pretty awesome.
So that's what I was doing.
Dude, that is the best excuse I've ever heard. Don't forget about Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers, too. They help us out over here, and we love Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. A lot to get to today. Second segment, Scotty and I are going to dive into the NFC South and just sort of break it down for you, give you our predictions on the year. In a moment, we're going to get into just some NFL training camp news and notes, which I'm so pumped to get to. And then in our last block, we're going to go up north to New York City and talk to Nick Picht about, that's our baseball guy. And I'm very curious about the Yankees, how bad they're doing. And they were like 7 games ahead of everybody in like June. And now they're struggling, dude. So I'm interested to see how what he has to say about the New York Yankees. Talk a little baseball with Nick. Wanted to start off this morning talking about some Texas football. We won't go far from here. Let's go about 90 minutes south from Waco and head to Austin. And this will include, it's kind of like a little bit of a triangle or maybe just a back and forth. This is Austin, Texas, right? And the Texas Longhorns and Arch Manning and the Cleveland Browns and Jimmy Haslam, their owner yesterday. Every time we get to training camp and an owner starts talking, or whether it's Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Jimmy Haslam, I got my popcorn ready because you know it's going to be – these guys really don't care. They have so much money. And I know as a former PR guy, like you just don't – when your owner gets up there and starts talking, you're just kind of like, man. Like we didn't have too much of an issue with that when I was with the Sixers because Ed Snyder owned the team, and he was like old school hockey guy, and he was pretty friggin' awesome. Mr. Snyder, he just left basketball to basketball guys because he was a hardcore hockey guy. Didn't necessarily help the organization basketball-wise, like pumping money into the basketball side of it, but it certainly helped the basketball people just do their jobs. And certainly the PR guys. You don't have to put on any fires. But the Browns PR team, I'm sure, is busy right now. Jimmy Haslam, first of all, he talked to the media yesterday, and we'll dive into the Shadur comments for a moment. But first and foremost, he talked about Arch Manning. And he mentioned how he does not think that Arch Manning will stay at Texas or will leave Texas after 1 year, right? And he's right about that, which debunks a lot of rumors as to I hate this, really, like when you take a guy like Arch Manning and then you tell us, okay, Cowherd did this, and he's amazing at his job. So I would never, like, knock Colin Cowherd. But I don't love, like, okay, let's see the field and understand that the Browns are going to pick first in the draft because they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. Arch Manning is going to come out, and that is the synergy there, that Arch Manning is going to play for the Browns. And, you know, the Browns just may well tank, right? That I think that's rubbish. And I think everything about Arch Manning and his resume lets you know that he's going to stay 2 years, at least, at Texas. And honestly, I think he might stay 3 or 4. And this is just reading the tea leaves, right? You go down to like the Manning family in general. And this is a family operation. You know, Arch is Cooper's son, and they call Koopa, I think they call him. But he's Cooper's son. Cooper was actually a wide receiver, was not a quarterback. He injured his neck. And so his football career was ended early. Otherwise, we'd probably be talking about him as a Hall of Famer, because when you look at when you look at his brothers and how they got so good, it was repetition after repetition in college. Eli actually redshirted. He was at Mississippi for 5 years. Okay, think about that. For 5 years. Peyton could have left after his junior year and been a top 2 pick. He waited, played 4 years, right? So, and then what we saw with Eli too, I don't think that the Manning family necessarily wants to have to get into that, right? Like, they had to push back on the Chargers. Remember, Eli went to visit the Chargers. It was very clear that they weren't on the same page. Arch got involved, Archie got involved and became sort of like the bad guy and was like, hey, we're not going to go to San Diego. We're going to hold out. It was a pretty ugly situation, but it was ugly back in 2001, 2002, whenever exactly that was. You know, nowadays, I think if a quarterback pushed back on a city like that, I think it could get pretty ugly with like all the crap out there. You know the deal, like social media and everything. And I don't think that's a situation that they want to encounter again. So then you look down the list and you say, okay, well, actually, the only way that I think Arch Manning would leave, and this is great news for Texas fans, the only way that Arch Manning would leave Texas early, especially in his first 2-3 years, I think you'd probably have to win a national title. So he feels like his work is done there. Might even want to throw a Heisman in there. And then I think, so now his work is complete. And there would have to be a perfect fit, a perfect suitor that would emerge with the number 1 pick, whether that's through a trade or whether through a team that was just god-awful because of maybe a key injury to a key player. So I believe that Arch Manning will be at Texas for the long haul, and I'm not alone in that. I watched Chris Sims talk this morning with Mike Florio. Chris Sims, obviously a Texas guy, dialed in with Texas people. Everything he's heard about Arch Manning is that, you know, this is a long-term thing at Texas. And I think we can also, we get a little, okay, this is how it's been going recently, right? Like these superstar quarterbacks, but are going to leave college, but they're not anymore because Texas is paying their team this year. There's like a $40 million payroll for Texas's college football team. So it's not like Arch Manning, again, we dive back into this. He ain't missing any meals, dude. Like, he's fine financially. So there really is no reason to leave college like there was before. That's a simplistic, obviously, contribution from me, but it still is very relevant in this situation. I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money. But still, and what is the big carrot, I think, for the Manning family, or at least for us, right, in the media and what we do, is that overwhelmingly NFL executives believe that Arch Manning would be the number 1 pick next draft. So that adds to a lot of this, right? There is speculation, and it's from the inside that this guy is really that good. So looking forward to seeing exactly how he does this year with Texas. As much as we complain about this time of year, like being a little flat, like it is fun. Like I'm so excited for this year. I'm so excited. August 8th is going to be the Browns' first preseason game. Like, what will we see from Shedeur there? This is like troubling if I'm a Shedeur fan right now, because yesterday, he's at training camp. Kenny Pickett's out with the hamstring. He's missed a couple practices. So now you've got Joe Flacco obviously taking all the number one reps, and you get Dylan Gabriel, who was drafted before Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, getting more reps than Shedeur. Deshaun Watson's in the quarterback room conversation, but with his Achilles, they probably don't expect him to play at all this year. So there is an opportunity with Pickett being out for Shedeur to get reps with the first team, and he really hasn't been getting any. And then Jimmy Haslam said yesterday to the media, again, going back to an owner opening his mouth, which is kind of hysterical. He mentions, hey, I didn't even, Shedeur was not my idea. It wasn't my pick. This wasn't some kind of PR thing. I actually left the facility on Friday night thinking we weren't going to take Shedeur. And then we took him Saturday. And he said, that's the football guys. And I his comment made sense, but it just didn't need to be made because it was just more gas on the Shedeur fire. And the Browns and their coaching staff, they can't love it, and I don't think Jimmy Haslam is like a Jerry Jones or a Stephen Jones, which we'll talk about in a second, how they just kick the can down the road negotiation-wise all the time. And that has us talking about them here on July 30th. First take starting with the Dallas Cowboys this morning because Micah Parsons still hasn't been extended. So the Shedeur thing, though, I think there is something happening football-wise there that might not be great early on. I just get that feeling, right? Because you think he would get more reps. But again, Friday, August 8th, preseason starts. Cannot wait for that. Just to tap into the Cowboys real quick, because I was thinking about them this morning, obviously. This is the negotiation, right, with Micah Parsons, okay? It's very clear that Jerry Jones knows how to manage money and become a billionaire, right? There's no question about that. And it's become very clear, too, that he is over his skis being the czar of football personnel for the Cowboys, as is Stephen Jones, right? And I am not – I can't get inside the brilliant – I will say the brilliant mind of Jerry Jones, but I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me, and I'm not the only one. People who know much more about football than I do are very curious as to why the Cowboys are so hell-bent on setting the bar in the market at these premium positions. Now, what am I talking about? Dak Prescott, right? I think we can all agree, Scotty, for sure, Mount Swingler's percolating over there just at the mention of his name, that Dak Prescott is not the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's the highest paid, and that goes on that's on the Cowboys. And that, I don't care what you say, that's a negotiation that's bungled. A guy who is – Scotty, you don't have to get on mic. Where do you rank him in quarterbacks in the NFL? Yeah. 16th. So Scotty Swingler, our own, right, has him ranked – PFF says 17th. But he's making the most money in the NFL at quarterback. That's ridiculous, dude. CeeDee Lamb, his contract makes a little more sense, but you kick that can down the road, so you had to pay him a ton. So now you're making the market – at another premium position. And now you're going to do the same thing with Micah Parsons, who came to the table and legit wanted to sign for less. But you guys did I don't understand. And again, this is one of those deals where I don't even know if I should give the Cowboys enough credit to say there's probably so much we don't know, right? Is this, and I'm not lying, it's in there somewhere that this is part PR, and even Jerry's subconscious, he just loves this attention. That's a possibility, dude. That's a great possibility. There's also, I love the Bill Parcells quote from many years ago, never discount stupid. It's always in there somewhere. That's a possibility with this too. Maybe this is just idiotic by them, and it's ego-driven, and that's on the table as well. But if it's a strategy, it sucks. It's the worst strategy we've seen because what you're doing now is you're ravaging the rest of your roster by paying these guys so much. So these are two guys, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and the other guy, who I think is pretty smart, whose name escapes me right now. But they're not doing a real good job managing the salary cap. And that brings me to my last point. It's no mystery as to why the Cowboys haven't won a goddamn Super Bowl since I was traipsing around the University of Richmond as an undergrad football player on campus there in 1995 as a freshman, by the way. That's when the salary cap kicked in. During the Cowboys dynasty, those 3 Super Bowls, the salary cap kicked in in that era of the NFL, and they haven't figured it out since. Those 2 things, that's not a coincidence, dude. They can't manage the salary cap. I gotta watch my language. So that's just kind of ridiculous. There's a couple of points I made there, right? Maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe they're just morons, or maybe it is really just the restructuring of the salary cap that lends itself more to the incompetence of the Cowboys front office, just managing that cap, which everybody else, it's like football 101. Either way, it's fun to watch the Cowboys. I mean, literally, I grew up going to bed at night, and my parents would put on the show Dallas, which was too late for me to watch, right? So I would go to bed. This shit might be better. I mean, Who Shot JR? I think 1 billion people watch that. I mean, every morning people are waking up to see what these yahoos are doing. Scotty, you got anything? I got one more little thing in my first block.
You're absolutely correct, Pete, but I need to respond to Scotty B.
What is he
really
saying?
Quickly.
Yeah.
Scotty, I like you. We're friends. I will not tolerate Tony Romo slander on this stream. We do not have time to get into it. I do not appreciate this comment.
Scotty B, if you want to put in the comments as to why you think that, maybe we can go back to it. But don't overwhelm us because we know how smart you are with all your stats. But I mean, I don't agree with that either.
Tony Romo was criminally underrated.
He was, but he didn't. I mean,
I know.
It sucks because I love Tony Romo just as much.
Scotty B, I've told Pete this 1,000 times. I'm that crazy Cowboys fan that maintains that in Romo's final season,
he should have come back.
Dak's rookie season, if he had started that playoff, that playoff run, I think the Cowboys get to the NFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl. But that's also me living in my fantasy world.
10 years for Dak, 2 playoff wins. So there's definitely a debate there. I like Romo more as well. Let's get to some positive stuff. Travis Hunter, okay? Is this dude, he wants to play every snap this season, and it's becoming more and more evident that the folks around the Jacksonville Jaguars who will actually make those decisions just may believe it too. Here's a quote yesterday from the Jags OC, Grant Yudinsky. Forgive me if I butchered the name. I think that's how it is. But here's what he spoke about after practice with about Travis Hunter and his ability to play 2 ways. He says, quote, "I don't know that I've seen anything with that level of conditioning." By the way, Travis Hunter's nickname, which he has given himself, and we all, I think, ramping up to the draft, use this term a lot, a unicorn. That's what basically Yudinsky says. I don't know that I've seen anything with that level of conditioning, anything in that. It's like this is a whole nother entity. It's the unicorn, right? And then he went on to say, obviously he's expected to do something that none of us have ever seen or done before, but it's once again a testament to his work and training in the heat in the summer. I mean, it's hot. No joke. There are guys out here struggling to do one thing. He's doing multiple. And back when I was, again, this is apples and oranges, but at the University of Richmond, training camp in the summer heat in the 90s in Richmond, Virginia, I guess Central Virginia. I don't even know where the hell it is. It's Virginia. It's in Virginia somewhere. It's hot, and it's like a swamp during the summer. Guys would constantly fall out and have to get, this is when you just weren't breaking as much, and we didn't know as much about conditioning and hydration, or maybe it was being ignored by Coach Reed, who knows. But guys would fall out, and they'd have to go to the Richmond hospital to get IVs, right? Because we weren't in that era where we just sent them to the training room. So they go to the hospital, get IVs, and then they come back with the IV still. And that happened a lot. And we used to say, it was like a joke, like, oh, the cramp dog got, Eric Good got hit by the cramp dog, David Cooney got hit by the cramp dog. DeJuan Jones got bit by the cramp dog. But there was a guy named Winston October. Winston's, I think, the offensive coordinator at William & Mary now. He played in the NFL for a minute for the Redskins. Winston was like, and Mark Megna too. Mark played for the Patriots and was drafted by Parcells and the Jets. But like, there are guys in camp who don't stop, who like can't stop, won't stop Rockefeller records, dude. Winston October was one of those guys where it was like, you guys would be dropping down, and Winston could go forever and forever, and it infuses a life and a positivity into your teammates that really breeds confidence and breeds a new attitude. And I got to say this one last thing because we're a little short on time. Joshua Cephas, right, wide receiver. He literally was like, the energy this dude, this is a quote, the energy he brings on both sides of the ball is crazy. Him being next to me is crazy. The greatness that he brings to the room, a wide receiver room, is crazy. Now, this is a second-year wide receiver, talking about a rookie. I think that's a real good indication, too, as to like, yo, this guy, when you, as the kids say today, stand on business, right? Like, there's a respect you command, and it's undeniable. If you're in amazing shape and you're working your ass off and you're on all your stuff, like, and you know the playbook offensively and defensively, like, nobody's going to really disrespect you because they can't, right? And it's very clear in training camp, as we've heard from players and coaches. And by the way, I got most of this stuff from CBS Sports and Sports Illustrated. So it's not like I was picking this from like state media from the Jaguars website this morning, right? This is legit, man. So I cannot wait to see Travis Hunter. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the NFC South. Who's going where? We'll tell you.
For 75 years, Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. No gimmicks, just durable, well-designed bottles built to last. Join us on our mission to amplify life, not complicate it. Because at Nalgene, what goes into our bottles matters as much as the adventures they fuel. Explore more at nalgene.com. That's NALGENE.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
InMotion is more than just a name. It's a legacy of innovation. From supplying electric vehicle parts like motors and inverters since the 1960s to creating cutting-edge electric scooters, hoverboards, and unicycles, InMotion is shaping the future of mobility. Whether you're looking for industrial power solutions or accessible personal transport, InMotion has you covered. Explore our products and experience the future of movement. Visit store.inmotionworld.com today.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files, remove malware and viruses, and protect your device. It also optimizes your Mac's hard disk, fixes disk permission issues, and cleans memory, all to boost your Mac's performance to the max. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It's all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic, which is really great for your baby's sensitive skin.
And its Smoothie Climate Tag, which regulates your baby's temperature.
You can also get Joy's crib sheets, which are made of the same super soft material.
Joy gave my baby comfort
and gave me peace of mind.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey, past, present, and future. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence, elevate creativity, and honor what matters most. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
Maud Lily is your go-to for stylish and affordable fashion that fits your life. Whether you're looking for the perfect swimsuit for a beach day, a chic dress for a night out, or cozy tops for everyday wear, Maud Lily has it all. Their extensive collection of swimwear, including bikinis, tankinis, and one-pieces, always keeps you on trend, while their dresses and tops come in flattering styles for every occasion. Visit maudlily.com today.
All right, it's the Pete Sousa Show. We've been having some fun today talking about the NFL. It's actually been just doing some training camp news and notes and fodder, and now we're getting into predictions, which is always a scary place to go. Scotty Swingler and we did the NFC East last week, and now we're going to do the NFC South today. This is a division, Mr. Swingler, that comes with, as we used to say in the news business, more questions than answers this morning about the NFC South headed into the NFL. That's what we would say. Police have more questions than answers about the murder in East Waco this morning. But we're not talking about a murder. We're talking about a celebration. It's football. Do you want to reveal the rankings and go through them?
Sure.
We can start with yours. How about that?
We started with yours last week, so
Yeah.
that's only fair, Pete. I think that's only what we need to be doing here.
Yeah.
So we're looking at NFC South today, and for me, this is how it plays out, and I will explain. As we go through these division previews, Pete, it'd be really easy to just rank everything the same as it fell last year, which was really tempting for this division in particular because there are a lot of questions. I think the thing I feel most strongly about is that the New Orleans Saints will be at the bottom, and maybe that's unfair, and I do believe in Kellen Moore, but I do not believe in any quarterback on their roster. When it's Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler that's going to trot out there week one, I am not very confident, no matter who else you've got or no matter who's coaching, I'm not very confident that you can finish very high in this division. So I feel very strongly that's probably the safest pick on my board.
Their over-under,
here.
by the way, is 5.5 wins. That means you're going to suck.
I might, when I was going through each of these teams' schedules last night and thinking about this, they might win 3 or 4. It really might be a bad year in New Orleans. It really might. And Tyler Shuck, let's not only mention, Tyler Shuck is their presumed starter, the rookie, who I don't think is going to be very good as it is, and he could totally prove me wrong. But he's also injury prone.
Yeah.
He has been injured multiple times. So what happens if your not great rookie starts 4 weeks and then gets hurt? Are you going to win a bunch of games with Spencer Rattler back there? It's just, it would not surprise me if they trade for a Joe Flacco or a Russell Wilson if the Giants end up starting Jackson
Somebody
Dart.
just to hold the fort down.
Yes, or I was shocked they gave Jameis Winston's in New York.
Yeah.
Why isn't Jameis Winston in New Orleans? I feel strongest about that.
Wherever Jameis is, I want him to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Panthers, I just don't know how to make heads or tails of them. I don't know if Bryce Young is going to continue kind of the upswing he had at the end of last year.
Clearly, prognosticators think so, though. Some people have.
But we don't know. You
No.
said, more questions than answers.
Yeah.
Here's what I am confident in. I do think it will be these two teams at the top, and you could talk me into either one of them finishing first. I think as I look through their schedules, I could see the Falcons or the Bucs winning 9 to 11 games. So let's just say they each win about 10.
Yeah.
That's probably my prediction. I'm very high on the Falcons, Pete. Very high. And
I know because your boy Toy Penix. You love him.
I would never call him a boy toy. I think that's kind of gross the way you just said that. But I really like Michael Penix. I liked him when he was at Washington. I liked him coming out into the draft. I was shocked he was ranked so low.
Yeah.
I was thrilled the Falcons took him so high. I love that he's set behind Kirk Cousins for most of last season. I think for a lot of NFL quarterbacks, that's proven to be very beneficial as they grow, especially in their first year. He looked good, not great, when he got to play last year. I definitely think he'll improve. They've got weapons, man. I mean, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
We're all just inevitably waiting. What is this, year 4 or 5? We're waiting for Kyle Pitts to become dominant.
Yeah.
Drake London's a legit number 1. They address defense in the draft.
That's a big point for me.
And what people forget is the Falcons were like not great last year, and they won 8 games.
Yes.
So it's not a stretch to say 10 this year. Now that you've got quarterback locked down, if Penix stays healthy.
Well, also you look at your division, like you're playing.
Yeah.
You're playing the Saints and Carolina 4 times.
Right. And here's my last thing. The last reason I picked it this way, because the Bucs are the favorite in this division by Vegas odds. But this is, I think, their 4th consecutive year with a different OC.
Yeah.
And I love Baker Mayfield. Like, I think Baker Mayfield's criminally underrated. I think he's a really good NFL player. But it's just you have to imagine if you keep swapping OCs every season.
Yeah, they're on their 5th one.
5th one, okay.
Yeah.
Eventually, something's going to come off. So if I'm going to give an edge to one of these teams, Falcons, more consistency, address needs in the draft. I like Penix. They won 8 games last year. I could see the Bucs regressing and the Falcons coming to the top. I think both of those teams are playoff teams, though.
Okay. Here's my thing back about Tampa, because I agree. Like, do you want to get to mine? Okay. So I got Tampa at the top, and the reason I do is because same thing for the Eagles last year. Like they lost. It was like, what do they call it? Like the brain drain. They lost both their OC and DC, and they won the Super Bowl. So everybody talks about that with the Lions. That's just kind of off topic,
Right.
but like I still think the Lions will be great. Like I think we kind of maybe sometimes can overrate that a little bit.
We're going to find out very quickly how valuable Ben Johnson really was.
Yes, we are, and we're going to find out too how if Tampa and the infrastructure there offensively, whether I don't know the inner workings of that organization, but clearly it's been solid enough to be able to navigate for their quarterbacks and specifically Baker Mayfield all those changes at coordinator. So my thing is I believe that they'll continue to find a way during those changes. I also think something I mentioned when we were talking about your teams is like this isn't a great division.
Right.
So and Tampa has the 10th easiest schedule in the NFL according to Warren Sharp and his rankings, and I think that really lends itself to their ability to succeed this year. I mean, honestly, man, I have Tampa as like almost like you hold your nose and pick a team. I don't, and I'm not. That's not. I just don't. Nobody knocks me over in this division, right? I mean, Atlanta. I like the main thing the Falcons needed to do was get better at pass rush,
and they
picked
did.
up James Pierce and Jalen Walker.
That's
like,
right.
Those guys are bad boys.
Yes,
dude.
exactly right.
They were the Falcons. I think were last in the league in sacks last year, and that that screws you up more than we can even explain, right? Like because your D-backs are getting roasted because you give these quarterbacks in the NFL time, they're going to find a way.
Well, and even in division, Pete, if you're going to mess Bryce Young and Tyler Shuck up, that's a huge thing. Like Baker Mayfield, we know can get away from pressure. We don't know if Bryce Young and Tyler Shuck can do that in the NFL yet.
Yeah, no, we don't. And the Panthers, like, I would love to see them do well. I lived in Charlotte, and they sucked so bad last year. I don't know how Bryce Young's going to be.
Well, and I don't know. Their roster is so unproven, too, even beyond Bryce Young. You have way more known commodity, I think, in these other two teams.
Like, let me see. I'm just curious. Let me go back. I just want to get the over-under for the Falcon, or for the, whatchamacallits, for the Panthers. I have it right here. I
think the Falcons are at 7.5 right now, and I would smash the over on that.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's one of the best bets in Vegas right now. Just to be honest with you, like again, we're talking about them as if they were bad last year. They won 8 games.
So the Panthers are 6.5 over/under. I would take the under on that big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a harder bet for me though than over on the Falcons. I think.
So the Falcons are 7.5.
That's what I saw this morning.
That's pretty good, dude.
I think that's a pretty safe over.
And then of course we look at the Saints, and that's just Can they be that bad? I wonder.
They've been that bad plenty of times in their history, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's been a minute, right? Like
that's true. They've been a very functional organization.
Yeah, they always like battle back.
Thank you, Sean Payton.
Yeah, last year was kind of rough, right? But I don't know. Like who's their who's the Saints quarterback?
Shuck.
Yeah,
they're going to start Tyler Shuck.
Are you sure, dude?
Yes.
You don't think they'll start Spencer Rattler?
No. If Spencer Rattler was a starter, he would have proven it last year. He would have, and he was not very good last year.
Yeah. Well, that's just not a good situation.
No,
right?
That's what I'm saying. They're going to win like 3 games, the Saints, in my opinion. They're really going to struggle.
So will they be the worst team in the NFL?
I think they'll be competing for it. I think there's a good chance.
So, well, now we're talking. Now, what about, and this goes back to our earlier topic.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What if Arch Manning?
What a home run that would be.
I mean, now that is when you step back and you reassess the situation.
What a home
now
run.
I'm doing the thing that I hate. But if the Saints had the last pick in the draft, or the first pick in the draft, they finished last. And we talked earlier on the show, if you're just watching this in segments, about how
and remember, he played private high school football there.
Arch Manning did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it'd be like a homecoming for him in a lot of ways.
I mean,
That'd be sick.
We were talking earlier in the show that Arch Manning will stay a couple years in Texas, and there's a ton of reasons why he will. And you can check that segment out if you want. But, there's also they're not going to – the Mannings aren't going to have him leave school to play for the Browns or a team that might be a bad situation, but the Saints really could expedite his situation.
And here's the other thing, dude, and then I want to make one more point about the Bucs. Here's the thing about Arch Manning. We are already anointing him as if he's the number 1 pick, and I get why. But he has not been a starter for a full season in college football yet.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing I was yelling at you about Belichick yesterday. He's proven it at one level. He has not proven it at another level. Arch Manning, I think if I was a betting man, I'd say he's going to be a great college quarterback.
Well,
I would bet on him, but we don't know. And here's the thing. This quarterback class for this upcoming draft is deep.
Yeah.
There's about 5 or 6 guys that are going to have opportunities to go to the NFL and start.
It's funny, Scotty, because you bring up a great point. I don't know, and this could be another topic, like tomorrow or whatever. I don't know that we have seen a sure thing like this, right? Air quotes, if you're listening, sure thing, like Arch Manning. We really have not, like in the NFL in a long time. Chris Sims was talking this morning with Mike Florio, and Sims was basically like, dude, everyone I've talked to, like NFL executives. Now, Sims is a Texas guy.
Yeah.
But, like, everyone I've talked to, NFL executives, like, they say he's the number 1 pick. Like no doubt about it. So these guys know way more than me.
The 2 people it reminds me of, the 2 guys that have been talked like this before in my lifetime that I remember are Trevor Lawrence and Andrew Luck. And those guys are generational college quarterbacks.
Luck was awesome.
And Luck was a good NFL quarterback. And
Trevor.
it's unfortunate he retired. But, yeah, Trevor's not been a good NFL quarterback. He's been mediocre at best.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We don't know who Arch is. By the way, bear the truth. I didn't see this before I commented. Right before I made a comment, he said, is it not too early to anoint Arch? And then he said, yes, thank you. So clearly that's not a bad thought. I want to make one more point before we move on from this division. If it's the Bucs and the Falcons fighting for that top spot, which I think Vegas thinks so, we think so.
Yeah.
Where I think the Falcons have an advantage as well is they have a young, improving core, and the Bucs have an aging core.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans has been remarkably durable in his career, and Baker Mayfield has been remarkably good lately and durable in his career. But if you told me, like, between Evans, Godwin, who's been hurt a lot lately, Baker, versus Penix, Pitts, Bijan, and Drake London, I'm like, man, one of those cores is coming into their prime. One of them
is fading,
are moving out of their prime.
Yeah.
And maybe this isn't the year that puts the Falcons over the edge, but that's another reason. Is I was like, these teams are really similar to me.
You're pushing me to make this Falcons bet, dude.
I mean, it's a good team. I really like that roster.
And I do not think I think the Panthers are going to suck, which is why I think you can kind of feast on Tampa Bay and Atlanta with the over. Because
I think they will both make the playoffs,
and that's 4 wins, dude. I'm sorry, you should not leave. You should not, if you're Atlanta or Tampa Bay, you should not lose to those teams once. So give them 4 right away.
Right, and I think it's very conceivable they split.
Yeah.
When they face off.
Yeah, yeah. All right, good stuff, Scotty. Yeah, you've really got me I'm moving towards this Falcons bet.
I'm nothing if not convincing, Pete.
And Nick Picht is nothing if not electric. He's in the bullpen right now. And, man, the Yankees, they got to go back to the drawing board. We're going to find out what Nick Picht thinks about Aaron Judge, the New York Yankees, and this slide. This is a team that was 7-8 games up earlier in the season, and now they're just rolling around the mud trying to get another playoff spot. Nick Picht is coming up with some Yankees insight, and we will be back. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacek's, rolls on after this.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down to afterwards, was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
I don't know, if Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. Bubble allows you to make it real and for it to actually work. So I feel like Bubble bridges that gap and being able to give people the opportunity to make their ideas come to life really quickly too. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built and have the control over it.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
Hi, I'm Jo from Face Theory. You're going to want to have a specific goal for your skincare routine. What do you want to achieve? Active ingredients are really strong, and if you're using too many at once, your skin can get overwhelmed. Don't overspend on products. Choose products that have scientific research behind them. At Face Theory, if you're not happy with a product, just say so, just give us a shout and we'll give you your money back, no problem.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone and then you're gonna use the Kodak Photo Print app. It's going to print you a 4x6 photo. I am just in awe. I love how these turned out. Also, the printer comes with a free cartridge of 10 photo sheets. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. Tailor the colors, fonts, and design to match your brand and seamlessly integrate with your WordPress website. Whether it's for events or appointments, Amelia makes booking simple, stylish, and perfectly aligned with your business. Enhance your booking experience today at WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia.
When you learn a language with Babbel, you start a journey that takes you further and further. Anytime and anywhere you wish. It's easy and fun. Broadens your horizons and keeps your brain fit. A journey into new thoughts, new cultures, new adventures. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Babbel now. Go to babbel.com or download the app.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry for its dedication to helping individuals with bad credit secure loans. By making timely repayments, borrowers can gradually repair their credit history, thereby increasing their chances of securing better loan terms in the future. BadCreditLoans.com serves as a beacon of hope for those with bad credit. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Here we go now. We got Nick Picht in the bullpen standing by. There he is. God, this guy gets bigger and bigger. Dude, stay out of the weight room, bro. Start calling you Nick Swisher.
Dude, wow, shout out Nick Swisher.
Dude, I can't get in the gym anymore. My back is cooked. My elbow hurts. I might have overdone it. I might have overdone it.
Dude, can you move your screen back a little bit so you can get some headroom? So we
Yeah,
can
hold
see
on.
the top of your beautiful head.
Dude, like what you gotta get me like down
All right,
here, dog. You gotta get me on a full stretch.
All right,
What
you're
the
good.
hell
You're
is
good.
this?
You're good. By the way, Scotty, congratulations in order for Nick. He got engaged
I did.
since we last talked.
I did get engaged.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Shelly,
we did it.
Silvestri, soon to be Shelly Picht. I can't wait. Nick, when are you gonna? Do you have a date yet? Or no?
No, I actually just got back from since we got engaged, it's been like 6 weeks, legitimately 6 weeks of travel. And I've not set foot on Louisville ground for more than like 8 days at a time for the whole summer. So we're done now. We're done traveling for the rest of the year. So Shelly and I are going to try to figure it out next couple weeks.
All right, where will it be?
Don't worry, you'll get a save the date. All right.
Will it be Monroe?
Hell no.
No?
No, dude. I think
Shelly's family's from.
I think gun to head right now would be either Louisville or New Orleans.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure you'll come up with an excuse though, I'm sure.
We'll stay tuned. We're also staying tuned to the Yankees. It's the trade deadline, dude, right?
Tomorrow. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So the Yankees this is a pretty epic slide for them. And
Dude, look at you in your your lower third, which is really an upper third. Yankees in free fall. You're what's wrong with the media.
dude, that's Scotty Swingler. And guess what?
Yeah.
That is my seal of approval, like all day long, dude.
Never let facts get in the way of a good story. You've been that way for a long time.
No. I was last week. I was traveling, and I was actually in the New York area, and I was listening to FAN, and dude,
Were you listening to MK?
no, because he's ESPN. But I was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't even know who I was listening to at this point. I felt like one of the dudes was Tiki Barber. I think it was.
You might be right on that one.
Yeah, but they were ripping.
It's crazy, dude.
Ripping the Yanks, and they were really ripping your manager, right, Aaron Boone,
it is
because of how he's handling the media. So this is my first question for you, like as an insider, I call you an insider, as an insider and a passionate fan. Like when you see Aaron Boone coming out there telling you, "Hey, we're going to turn the corner. You know, future's right there in front of us. I know it. These guys know it." Like, is that getting frustrating for you because they haven't shown this in some time? And dude, there are now kids who are walking around of drinking age that have never seen the Yankees win a World Series. Maybe there were 4 or 5 when the Yankees won the last one. But this is a big drought for Yankee fans.
The Yankees haven't won a World Series in 15, and they're not going to win the World Series this year, so it'll be 16 years. But
and you got embarrassed last year, by the way, in the World Series. That was a bummer.
The Dodger thing that came out about how like the scouting report was basically just like put it in play because these idiots don't know what they're doing is pretty wild. And I feel like it's been just kind of like yelled about in New York media, but never really like actually truly addressed. It was addressed in the sense that like they went out and got different players and they're like, this is a personnel problem, not an organizational problem. And now this year, the discourse has just been like, no, it's not a personnel problem because you brought in new personnel and still do the same dumbass things. So it's like, obviously we got a gap here. Yeah. But like the thing about Boone that it does drive me crazy personally, just like, cause not everything is always right out in front of you. Not everything is like, it's going to be fine. A little sense of urgency, I think probably would help this team. You know, I mean, baseball is also a long game, Pete. It's 162 games. So it's like, can you be as intense in game 1 as you are in game 74? It's really hard. It's really, really hard. But do other teams do this? Normally, I'd tell you no, but this year's kind of different. I mean, the Dodgers at one point had lost like what? 10 of 12, 7 in a row. I mean, the Tigers hadn't won a game in 2 weeks. The Tigers are the best team in the American League.
The Mets too.
The Mets too. So like, you know, normally I would tell you this only happens to us, but it doesn't always happen to us. But what does always seem to happen is that this happens every year to us. So every year it happens to a couple of teams, I'm sure, but it always ends up happening to us. Why? I think it's in part because the culture is like, we'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. The next thing you know, they've lost like, 8 of 10. And it's like, well, maybe we aren't fine.
Yeah. What do you think about like the Hal Steinbrenner and Brian Cashman relationship? Like, it's starting to feel like, I mean, Brian Cashman, it's amazing. Somebody was doing it, and I forget who, so forgive me. Like how long he's been in the Yankees front office as a GM for like 3 popes, dude. Like,
Dude, they've had legit more popes than general managers. It's like as far as stability is concerned, it's like Pittsburgh Steeler head coaches, Yankees general manager, president of baseball operations.
Are the Yankees like never going to budge on him? Like, is
on Cashman? No, I don't think so. I think he'll have that job as long as he wants it. Boone too, I think, which is less exciting. I think
this is the New York Yankees,
dude.
though,
Brian Cashman's an awesome general manager. Truly, he would have a job in 4 seconds.
Okay, so you're fine with Cashman being your GM?
I think that there is always grass is greener on the other side with front offices, because what are you going to say? Like, we need this guy, or we need that guy, we need this guy. I mean, look what happened to the Red Sox. Looks what, like, they've cycled through 4. They've won 2 World Series. Okay, yeah, great. But in between their 2 World Series, they've been shit.
Yeah.
And cycled through GMs.
Well, what about Aaron Boone, like strategically as a manager? Like,
whatever.
You hear that you hear that, oh, he's relying on his gut, to make these changes, or that's how he's managing. Like, does that turn you off? Like the strategy of it?
No, I very much think that he is he's a stick to the book kind of guy. I don't think he does the gut thing. I really do not think he does the gut thing at all. I mean, why do Yankee fans have to look at the bullpen budget every game night? Michael MK puts it up there and he's like, and we get to look at the bullpen budget, because that's what
bullpen budget.
It's who's thrown in how many days over the past week, so we could know who's available to pitch tonight and whether we're going to punt a game or not. I mean, really, it's just facts. Like, we don't do 2. We do 2 in a row. We don't do 3 in a rows. We hardly do 3 of 4. So we got to know that. We got to know who's in the budget, right? And then we don't let guys throw 30 pitches in an outing in the bullpen. So that's an obvious out. So from there, you get to play a little chess about who's available from the 6th inning onward and who's not. Some days we end up with Yerry De Los Santos. You know what I mean?
So I love your approach, by the way. It's way more measured than what I heard last.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you one thing about Boone too. Is like, he does the thing like you tell me, he goes with the gut, right? But then yesterday or 2 days ago we see a righty on the mound from the Rays. Was it? It had to have been the first Rays game, and we got like all of our righties in the game. And so what the hell are we doing? Why are we batting all these righties with a righty on the mound? And then he came out and was like, yeah, well, this pitcher actually has reverse splits. And for people who don't know what reverse splits are, it means that like he actually fares better, this pitcher does, against left-handed hitters than he does right-handed hitters. So they stacked the lineup with righties because people were so pissed off that Rice didn't play over Goldschmidt. So like, yeah, anyway, Boone's not a gut guy at all.
Okay, so what needs to happen for the Yankees to right the ship here?
Aaron Judge needs to be healthy and back. That's number 1. They need pitching badly. They could use a starter and a reliever at the deadline in the next 36 hours. They need pitching so bad. And more than needing new arms, they need the back end of their current bullpen to figure it the F out.
Okay.
Figure it out. Okay. Because it has been flat out unacceptable from the bullpen over the past 30 to 45 days. Okay, we can't get more than one guy to throw a clean inning at a time. It's crazy.
All right, so I want to switch gears. Scotty, you can take the Yankees thing down. Just a couple more questions for you.
Ultimately, I think the Yankees will be fine. I will tell you this. I think the Yankees will be fine. They're going to make the playoffs, and then from there, who knows? I don't really know. I don't like some of the matchups that they may or may not get come October. They're going to make the playoffs.
For me as a fan, I just want them on my television screen in October. I mean, seriously, I'm that loser.
They'll be there. They'll be there. But the Yankees, if they get Seattle, I mean, whoa.
Yeah. I'm the schmuck people talk about. Like, I will watch the World Series if the Yankees are in it, and I may not if they're not. I mean, unless it's the Phillies.
What about the Phillies? Yeah. How about the Phils, huh?
Dude, the Phils are doing great, man. We beat your ass last week.
They need a reliever too, bad. They need a back end guy.
Think they'll get it?
I hope so. They should get rid of Painter if they do. They have enough pitching. They'll be fine.
All right. Let's talk real quick. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
What? Because
Oh my God,
it's
here we
something I
go.
really haven't talked about enough on this show. Aaron Rodgers' expectations for you in Pittsburgh. It's crazy because there's so many storylines in the NFL, whether it is Travis Hunter or Shadur Sanders, whether he's going to play with the Cowboys. It's almost like the Aaron Rodgers thing for the first time in history is getting lost in the shuffle.
It's awesome. I actually love that.
Yeah, I would too if I was a Steelers fan. What are you expecting from Aaron Rodgers under center this year?
My one biggest expectation from Rodgers is don't turn the ball over. Just do not turn the ball over. The Steelers, I saw this is a crazy ass stat. I'll hit you with some math. The Steelers over the past, I think it's over the past 10, it's a milestone year, 10, 15, or 20, but either way, it doesn't matter. Stat still holds.
Yeah.
The Steelers have won 90% of the games they win the turnover battle in.
Wow.
Other teams, it's like 70. The other teams, it's like 72%, 74%, like 90%, dog. So don't turn the ball over. Just do not turn the ball over.
And that's a great stat because Mike Tomlin's been at the head of that ship for that whole time.
Exactly. So it's like if you know
the brand of football,
So I think that's number one. Number two, I would say just like don't be a dick. I don't know. I don't know if he's capable of doing that, but like any stories that don't have to be made, like I would like for him not to make.
Yeah.
Like I would really love for him not to talk about the president or not to talk about like running for office.
Can he go on hikes with JFK Jr.? He can, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
like you could do it, bro. You
okay.
could do whatever you want. I just like let's come to work and play football. For one more year. Give me one more year of just like I think Aaron Rodgers can still play ball, dog. I don't know. Last like 8 weeks of the season last year, he was good.
Yeah. Well, I have a good little positive nugget for you.
Tell me.
Because I do believe he finished strong last year. And as a guy, so Will Howard, I got some connections with Will Howard because of Philly. And when I was back home last week, I was talking to a buddy of mine who's like very tight with that whole Howard situation. And Will Howard like loves Aaron Rodgers.
I love that.
Him. Yeah, was like somebody, hey, what do you think of Aaron Rodgers? That's the first question people ask Will Howard.
Yeah, right. Not like how are you picking up the playbook? Like, what do you think of that old guy?
Yeah. And it's awesome because he was like he was glowing in his remarks about Aaron Rodgers. And really, if you do watch like the Hard Knocks from a few years ago before he got hurt with the Jets, like he seems like a kick-ass teammate. Just a weirdo. And to what you said, just cut down on the distractions outside. Like, Like, is he going to do McAfee again this year?
I actually don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
You know that?
But my ass would be tuning into McAfee now on Tuesday mornings or whatever it is because like we'll be in season and I'm locked in on Lurs.
Dude, Nick, by the way, you know what's so bad right now? Local news. It is
horrible.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I watch here. I mean, I watch the weather here because the weather here has just been like wild.
But do you see how the quality?
It's so bad, dude. It's crazy. You get what you pay for, my friend.
Now, what do you think about? Do you think the TV news? Just real quick, do you have a second?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got.
It's your calendar. I work around.
Yeah. Whatever. But what do you think about the future of TV news?
Dead.
Where's it going to go? Where are we going to get our like unbiased information?
We won't. That's the answer.
Yeah.
We won't. We won't. Like we're going to get weather. We're going to get local weather, but I think that
and probably local crime news, right? Like that'll.
But they'll run that like it'll be like the loop.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to end up happening is the companies that own the TV news stations will make some sort of regional news headquarters, wherever, Atlanta, Nashville, I don't know, whatever, you name it, who cares? And then they'll just kind of like get you almost like in video after video after video, like little 30 seconds, like in crime news today, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Okay, let's go to weather. And then like you'll have a local weather department.
Gotcha. Wow.
And maybe even not with the way that they are able to kind of take the models regionally now.
How happy are you with your decision to leave TV News?
Oh yeah, dude, it was the best thing I ever did for sure, 100%. I was at the Emmys the other day because we were nominated for a couple regional Emmys for just like some of the branded content we had done, and you just see it's wild west.
Yeah, it's like, and it's a bummer too because like the talent that brought you, honestly, you to TV News, like a young guy like you out of Boston University, like it is not bringing those same quality of individuals to TV News anymore. 10 years
And
later.
this isn't, and this is not like, psychiatry talk with Pete Sousa by any means, but like I will tell you that I do miss like storytelling. I miss feeling like the work I do impacts people, stuff like that. But knowing that the avenue that I had is just like not it.
Yeah.
Is an interesting headspace I've been in for the past couple months. Yeah.
Well, why don't you do something with the Rogue Media Network?
Well,
dude, the ball has been in your proverbial court for about 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean, I need to find myself a mic and some equipment, don't I?
Dude, I'm just saying. And honestly, the more that this show grows, there could be some more inclusion for you here. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, I know, because right now I only get 13 minutes and then I get kicked off the air. It's you guys get tight with your timing. All right, you guys are in my ear. Wrap it up.
Okay. Anything else, Nick, before we let you go?
Yeah. I'm very ready for football. Super pumped about football.
Okay.
I think I've got a few futures locked in.
Go ahead.
So I feel good about them. I'm going to have to find them on my phone. So if all right.
While you get them on your phone, I can tell you, oh my gosh, we're drunk right now.
Yep.
Scotty Swingler, my rusty, trusty sidekick, who was a fan of yours. We are going to hammer the Falcons over
to do
7.5.
what? Over 7.5. I like it.
Yeah, because the NFC South sucks.
All right, you ready? Here's what I got.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got some. We doing win totals or are we doing Super Bowl futures? What are we doing?
Whatever you're doing, do it fast so I'm not looking at that goddamn circle much longer.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Niners to win the Super Bowl. Bears to win the Super Bowl. Rams to win the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Ravens, Bills.
So they don't go that fast. So these are all your futures.
Yeah.
What's the odds on the Niners?
It was plus 1,800 what I got it at.
Okay. How about Bears?
4,000.
Yeah, that's the long.
God forbid everything goes right with the Bears.
Yeah. Okay. And
5. So I got Rams.
What's that?
I think that was 2,000 or 2,400. I forget.
Okay.
And then Chiefs, Ravens, Bills were all basically the same price. I think between 650 and 800, but I forget what it is. So between 6.5 to 1 and 8 to 1. I think if a team comes out of the AFC that isn't the Chiefs, Ravens, or Bills, we should all be like jaw on the floor, shocked.
All right, that's good, Nick. That's good.
And then win totals. Tell me what you think here. Ready?
All right,
here we go. Cowboys over 7.5.
Down. We don't like it.
Cowboys to win the division.
Dude, I hope that the Cowboys are interesting like that this year, but I just don't see them getting through the Eagles. The Eagles are really good. Scotty wants to say something. Hold on.
I need to save Nick from a terrible mistake.
It's too late.
No, we're in. It's only a unit. We're fine.
Nick, do not put money on the Cowboys, man. That's a bad
ready.
idea.
Eagles under 11.5 wins. Under. Giants over 5.5 wins.
Yeah.
That defensive line is a problem.
I like that. I like the Giants one. I like the Giants one.
Vikings, small sprinkle, under 8.5 wins. What are you getting with J.J. McCarthy? We have no idea.
That's a better pick.
Okay.
Lions to miss the playoffs, sprinkle, plus 185.
Wow. He's going with the brain drain there at offensive and defensive coordinator. Go ahead. What else?
Not just offensive and defensive coordinator. Didn't they lose their quarterbacks coach, their tight ends coach, their secondaries
coach?
Lost
both of their coordinators last year, and they won the
And
Super Bowl.
no, they didn't, clown. 2 years ago, they lost all those guys, and they had a down year. And then the second year with Sirianni, they won the whole thing.
You get the picture.
Saints, fewest wins in the league, plus 425.
Okay.
We were just talking about that possibility.
Yes, we love that. I actually love that bet.
And then Miami under 8.5 wins paired with Steelers over 8.5 wins, plus 185.
Agreed.
Where do you make these bets?
Where I get the best odds.
And where is that?
Depends on the book.
This guy.
I don't know.
I agree with
BetMGM,
everything-
ESPN,
Everything Nick just said
FanDuel,
tracks for
DraftKings.
me except the NFC East stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just cannot see the Cowboys winning or the Eagles.
But
dropping that
again,
far.
Scotty, I do give Nick this. I think that we are so close to the Cowboys.
Might be true.
It's the example I said yesterday, Nick.
The Cowboys are super talented, fellas.
They are, but they're
Like-
just such a train wreck.
But they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And
That's what Scotty thinks.
Don't have a defense still. We still don't know.
Oh, I have a sprinkle on the Jags over 7.5 too, and to win the division at plus 300.
That
Jags.
division, by the way, the AFC South is, as I've thought about our division previews, that's the toughest one to me to predict.
All right.
Yeah, I also think there's for sure value in the NFC South because Atlanta's got to be a plus number. I haven't looked at it. Atlanta has to be a plus number to win that division because the Bucs are probably the favorite. But like, they had a lot of things go right last year with Liam Cohen, and Baker's going to throw for 41 touchdowns again. It's
We're
a lot
both
of
talking you
touchdowns.
into Falcons this morning.
Yeah, Falcons for sure.
Dude, I mean, what if Penix is good, dog? They have no D line. That's a problem too, and it cost them last year because they just could not get.
No,
to the quarterback.
they got the two rookies. They got Jalen Walker and Pierce. They're good, dude. Up front, they're going to be pinning their ears back and kicking some ass.
I think the Giants are going to be pinning their ears back and kicking some ass. Carter's legit, dog.
You know,
Carter's
my mom legit had my ears pinned back. That's why I was a great
Did she?
defensive end. Yeah, when I was 14, my ears were huge. They were cupping out like that. And
Terry
she
didn't
took
have
me-
no time for that.
No, she was too, I guess, like highfalutin. So she took me to her friend, Marcy Fitzpatrick. You know, these two girls who grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. Marcy actually made like this great life where she was a plastic surgeon. And
Okay.
they were having wine one night, and I was out there with my Dumbo ears. People were calling me Dumbo in school. It was rough, Scotty. And Marcy was like, you know, you could get those corrected for free under your insurance. And I had nothing. I had no say in it.
And now
the
look
next
at
thing
you.
I knew.
Handsome devil.
Middle of my freshman year. Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, it would kind of stink, you know?
Dude, I kind of have some. I have some.
No,
I have
you're
some big
great.
issues.
You're great. All right. We got to go. Nick.
You kind of talked me into Falcons. I think this has been a fruitful conversation.
Dude, you are one of Scotty. You're Scotty's favorite guest, and we get some good guests.
I have some NBA futures already too. So whenever you're ready for those, call me back. I had to get in front. I had to get in front of those lines though, because those things move like.
I love the degenerate in you. All right, Nick Picht, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. That was Nick. We got to go. I'm actually, the little plug, I'm doing Locked On Buffs with Kevin Borba in 3 minutes. So, Scotty, we can set that up here, right? Okay. All right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. We got Kyle Yeomans, actually Central Texas native, who is a bigwig now with the Dallas Cowboys, hosts their radio studio show. Yeomans came on my radar when one night I was driving. It was actually at the beginning of my relationship with Christy. I was driving back from Burleson because we used to meet halfway there to Waco, and I put on the Cowboys and the Seahawks, a Thursday night game, and it wasn't Brad Sham calling the game. I literally would listen to the Cowboys on the radio just to hear Sham, but it was Kyle Yeomans. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And Sham had a medical episode, and Yeomans took the reins and kicked ass, and the Cowboys are loving his work right now. So we're going to talk to him about the Cowboys, and then Darby Brown on Friday. We're going to go down to Austin and talk about Texas football. Pete Sousa Show presented by Slovakics. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning. So we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me, and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is Stark.
Sports.
We are Rogue Media Sports.